Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. If you're listening to this episode, it means you care about improving your English in a real, practical way. Not textbook English, not exam English, but the kind of English people actually use every day at work.
Hello, everyone. I'm Borey, and today's topic is one of the most important for adult learners, professionals, and anyone who uses English in real life. We're talking about how native speakers communicate at work, not what grammar books say, but what actually happens in offices, teams, meetings, and daily interactions.
Many learners tell us the same thing. They say, I understand English when I listen. I know the words, I know the grammar, but when I'm at work, I don't know what to say or how to say it naturally. This problem is extremely common.
And the reason is simple. Workplace English is not academic English. It's not formal speech. It's social, cooperative, and context-based. Native speakers speak to manage relationships, not to show language ability.
That's a very important idea. At work, English is a tool, not a performance. People want to communicate efficiently, politely, and comfortably. That's the goal.
Let's start with something basic but powerful: how conversations begin at work. Native speakers rarely start with direct business immediately. They often begin with a soft entry.
You'll hear things like, hey, how's it going? Or morning? Or do you have a minute? These phrases are not meaningless. They create a safe space for interaction.
For example, instead of saying, I need this report now, a native speaker will say, hey, do you have a minute to talk about the report?
That small difference changes everything. It sounds respectful. It gives the other person a choice. It reduces tension.
Now let's model a natural exchange.
Hey, Borey, do you have a minute?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I just wanted to check in about the timeline for the project.
Okay, yeah, what are you thinking?
That conversation sounds normal, calm, and professional. No pressure, no fear.
Now let's talk about how native speakers give information at work. They don't usually give long explanations. They give just enough.
They expect the listener to already understand some context. This is why learners often feel lost, not because their English is weak, but because context is missing.
For example, a native speaker might say, let's push that to Friday. They don't explain what that is. Everyone already knows.
When learners don't understand, they sometimes stay silent because they're afraid to interrupt. But native speakers clarify all the time.
And they do it politely and confidently. They say things like, just to make sure I understand, or when you say Friday, do you mean the presentation?
Let's hear that.
Let's push that to Friday.
Just to confirm, are we talking about the client meeting?
Yes, exactly.
That's professional English. Clear, calm, and respectful.
Now let's move to something very important: tone. Native speakers control tone carefully at work. Even when they disagree, they soften their language.
Instead of saying, this is wrong, they say, I think there might be a small issue here.
Or instead of saying, I don't agree, they say, I see it a bit differently.
Let's demonstrate.
I think we should finish this today.
I see your point. I'm just wondering if we might need a little more time to review it.
That's a respectful disagreement. The relationship stays safe.
This is something academic linguistics calls pragmatic competence. It's the ability to choose language based on social context, not grammar rules.
And this is where many advanced learners struggle. They know English, but they don't yet control pragmatics.
Let's talk about meetings, because meetings create a lot of anxiety for learners. Many people think they need to speak a lot in meetings. That's not true. Native speakers often speak very little in meetings. They listen, nod, agree, or add short comments.
Common phrases include, that makes sense, I agree, I'm okay with that, maybe we can think about another option. Let's simulate part of a meeting.
I think we should adjust the schedule slightly.
That makes sense.
Maybe we can move the deadline to next week?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Short, clear, cooperative.
Now, let's talk about something learners rarely practice: incomplete sentences. Native speakers use them constantly.
You'll hear phrases like, if we could just, or I was thinking maybe, and then they stop. The sentence doesn't finish, but the meaning is clear. This is not bad English, it's natural English.
For example, if we could just take another look at this, everyone understands this suggestion.
Learners often think they must finish every sentence perfectly. Native speakers don't. Now let's move to asking for help. This is critical in workplace communication.
Native speakers ask for help openly. They don't apologize excessively. They don't explain their whole life story. They say things like, "Could you take a look at this?" or "I might need some help with this part."
Let's hear it. I might need some help with this section. I'm not fully sure about it.
No problem. Let's look at it together.
That exchange builds trust.
Now let's talk about mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes at work. Native speakers handle them directly but calmly.
They say, "That's my mistake," or "I missed that," or "I'll fix it."
Let's model that. "I think the wrong file was sent earlier."
"Oh, you're right. That's on me. I'll resend the correct one now."
No drama, no excuses, just action.
This kind of language makes people trust you more, not less.
Now let's talk about daily work language. Native speakers constantly signal what they're doing.
They say things like, "I'm heading into a meeting. I'm working on it now. I'll get back to you later. I'm wrapping this up."
These phrases help others understand your availability.
Example, "I'm heading into a meeting now, but I'll follow up later this afternoon."
Sounds good.
Simple and professional.
Now let's slow down and reflect. Everything we've discussed so far shares one idea. Workplace English is about cooperation, not perfection.
Grammar matters, yes. Vocabulary matters, yes. But interaction skill matters more.
This is why listening to real conversations is essential. You need exposure to how ideas flow, how tone changes, how meaning is shared. We'll also connect this to how your brain processes English in real time at work.
Let's continue by going deeper into how native speakers communicate at work when the situation becomes more complex. Up to now, we've talked about everyday exchanges, meetings, and collaboration. Now we move into areas where many learners feel pressure, giving feedback, showing confidence, handling uncertainty, and speaking when the stakes are higher.
One major difference between classroom English and workplace English is how feedback is delivered. Native speakers almost never give feedback in a direct or absolute way. They soften it, even when the message is serious.
This doesn't mean they are unclear. It means they care about the relationship. At work, language protects trust.
For example, instead of saying, "This report is confusing," a native speaker might say, "I think this section could be a bit clearer, especially the last paragraph."
Okay, that makes sense. I can revise that.
This style is extremely common in English-speaking workplaces. Learners who speak too directly may sound aggressive without meaning to.
Now, let's talk about confidence, because many learners believe confidence comes from perfect English. That's not true.
Confidence comes from clarity and calm delivery, not advanced vocabulary. Native speakers often use very simple language when they're confident.
You'll hear things like, "I think this is the best option," or "I'm comfortable with this approach." They don't over-explain, they don't apologize for speaking. They speak at a steady pace.
Let's model that.
Based on what we've discussed, I think this is the best option moving forward.
Okay, I agree.
That sentence is simple, but strong.
Now let's talk about something difficult for many learners, speaking when you're not 100% sure.
Native speakers speak even when they're uncertain. They don't wait for perfect ideas.
They use language to show thinking in progress. Phrases like, "I'm not entirely sure, but," or "This might not be final, but."
Example, "I'm not entirely sure yet, but I think we may need to adjust the plan slightly."
Okay, let's explore that.
This shows engagement, not weakness.
In academic linguistics, this is called epistemic hedging. It allows speakers to participate without claiming absolute certainty.
Learners who wait too long to speak often miss opportunities. Native speakers value contribution, not perfection.
Now let's move into leadership language, even if you are not a manager. Leadership language is about guiding, not commanding.
Native speakers use inclusive language. They say we more than you.
Instead of saying, "You need to do this," they say, "Let's focus on this next."
Let's hear it. Let's focus on the main issue first, and then we can handle the details.
Sounds good.
This language creates cooperation.
Now let's discuss handling pressure, such as deadlines or urgent requests.
Native speakers stay calm in their language, even when the situation is stressful.
They don't say, "This is impossible." They say, "That might be challenging, but let's see what we can do."
Example, that timeline might be tight, but I'll do my best to make it work.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
This shows responsibility without panic.
Another key skill is ending conversations professionally. Native speakers don't just stop talking, they close interactions smoothly.
They say things like, I'll follow up with you, let's touch base later, or thanks for your time.
Example.
Thanks for walking me through that. I'll follow up once I've reviewed everything.
Sounds good.
Clear ending, no awkward silence.
Now let's talk about email and message language, because workplace English is not only spoken.
Native speakers keep messages short, polite, and focused. They avoid long explanations unless necessary.
Common openings include just checking in, quick question, or following up on.
And common closings include let me know, thanks, or best.
This written style reflects spoken workplace English, efficient and relational.
Now let's connect everything to how your brain learns workplace English.
Research in second language acquisition shows that fluency develops through repeated exposure to meaningful interaction, not memorization.
This means listening to real conversations, shadowing natural speech, and practicing small phrases daily.
You don't need to memorize speeches, you need chunks of language.
Chunks like, that makes sense. I'll take a look. Let's circle back. I'm working on it.
Native speakers store language in chunks, not individual words.
This is why shadowing is powerful. When you repeat full phrases with natural rhythm, your brain learns patterns.
Over time, your speaking becomes automatic.
Let's slow down and imagine a full workday in English.
You greet colleagues, you check messages, you join a meeting, you ask questions, you give updates, you close tasks.
None of this requires advanced grammar. It requires familiarity.
And familiarity comes from listening, repeating, and using English in context.
One more important point. Native speakers do not expect non-native speakers to be perfect.
They expect clarity, effort, and cooperation.
When learners stop trying to sound perfect and start trying to be clear, everything changes.
Confidence increases, anxiety decreases, communication improves.
Let's end today's episode with a simple mindset shift.
Don't ask yourself, is my English perfect? Ask yourself, am I communicating clearly and respectfully?
That is workplace English.
Keep listening, keep practicing, speak a little every day.
And remember, fluency is not a destination. It's a process.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
We'll see you in the next episode.